Thank you. For the record, my name is Michael King, and I would first like to echo Terry's gratitude for the opportunity to speak today. My wife has been yoked with the full burden of this issue as evidenced by her testimony. Rather than be redundant, I would like to add my perspective as the primary breadwinner and head of household. My son Matthew was a planned blessing. While he slumbered in the womb, I read expectant mother books, painted his room, sewed him a quilt, and built his crib from scratch. I once even commented to a stranger that I thought I was nesting more than Terry was. But anticipation gave way to concern when Matthew was born 2 months premature. The next 6 months of our life were like that movie Groundhog Day, where the main character is forced to relive the same day over and over. Terry and I would wake up each morning, get dressed, and drive to the hospital to sit by Matthew's bedside. I can tell you that our concern over all of his medical problems was enough to occupy our every thought. I never imagined that we would also be faced with financial ruin. Like most health insurance plans, ours carries a lifetime cap per person. Until this ordeal, I had never heard of a lifetime cap. I thought once you had insurance, you were safe. Never one to seek a handout, we first looked into purchasing insurance under HIPAA protection. But no one wanted to cover Matthew since they knew they would lose money. So it was at this point that we turned to the state for help. We were told that we would not qualify for assistance because I earned more than the federal poverty level. Now, I have never complained about my salary, but I could earn 20 times what I do now and still not be able to afford his initial medical bills. After exhausting all our other options, Terry and I went before the Board of Trustees for our health insurance and begged them to raise the insurance cap for their members. While not my proudest moment, it saved us from the insulting options that we would have been left with. And for that, we have Doug Gillespie and the other board members to thank for saving our family. As the spiritual leader and provider for your household, how many of you would divorce and purposely make yourself appear to be a deadbeat dad? How many of you would sign away custody of your child, thereby acknowledging your inability to provide for your family? How many of you would uproot your spouse from her family and lose your pension in order to move to another state with a safety net? Are you aware that government officials and informed consultants advise your constituents to do these very things? I pose to you, are these options you would choose if faced with this dilemma? Ask yourself, is this the example I would set for my children, divorcing my spouse or filling out adoption papers? Would you want to explain to your son or daughter that giving them up was just on paper? Would you spend time discussing or reiterating that mommy and daddy really do love each other? They just have to pretend so they can provide. As it stands now, there is no help in Nevada for the middle class. If you look on your pay stub, you'll see automatic deductions from Medicaid. In effect, we are paying into a system that we cannot benefit from. This type of income redistribution is the very definition of socialism. I am asking you to support Senate Bill 59. Though it wouldn't help our family, there are others that would be spared the threat of financial ruin. Premiums would be set based on a sliding scale, based on household income. Now, I know you are loath to compete with private insurance companies for fear of adversely affecting their business. But I can assure you they are not seeking folks like us as customers. The testimony that we have given today is from our recent first-hand experiences, and I thank you for listening. And we'd be happy to answer any questions if you had any.